Hi guys, if you're new, I'm Becca and I'm currently nearly 33 weeks pregnant still. I'm actually in quite a good mood because I'm going for a scan after this, one of my growth scans. It'll be my 32 week / 33 week scan because I had one at 28 weeks but I was basically 29 weeks, and then this one 32 weeks but I'm basically 33 weeks. So yeah. The reason I have these scans is because they're like growth scans. Because I am classed as high risk because I'm a teenager, they scan you every 4 weeks up until you give birth from 28 weeks. So yeah, I am actually in quite a good mood today. So this video is going to be how I told my family / some friends and how they reacted to that. If I keep looking down, it's because I have wrote down what I need to say in this video because I know I would forget something otherwise. People have noticed that I say "so yeah" a lot and I'm really sorry. I am going to try and stop it, but who knows. So first of all, I'm going to start with the first person that I told in my family was my mum. So what happened was, after I had taken the pregnancy test, which I explained in my first video, if you haven't watched that, go watch that after this. So after I had taken my pregnancy test, I went upstairs and I was crying because I did not know, I was in shock. And I rang my mum because she was on the 2 floors down from me. So I was like, Mum, please come upstairs and speak to me. She was putting Christmas lights up with my sister at the time and I didn't want to tell anybody, obviously, apart from my mum. So she came upstairs. So I showed her the test and then she just kind of was in shock. She didn't say anything at first, apart from "oh Becca," and then kind of sat on the floor by the door so no one could come in. Yeah, I was crying. She was in shock. But the first thing she said is, well, whatever you want to do, I will support you and be there with you, which I am so grateful for, because if I didn't have my mum through all of this, then I don't know what I would have done. She's been the best support through the whole thing. I was so grateful for it. So yeah, we sat down and we spoke about it, and she knew that I'd been upset for the past couple of days over the way things were with me and my ex, because we weren't in a good place. I was kind of... we kind of both knew that we were going to break up anyway, but then this happened, so just another spanner in the works. So me and mum sat there for ages talking about like options and what to do, and then like she took it really well, and like I said, I'm so grateful for that. We then said that she'd take me to the doctors in the morning to go speak to the doctor because we didn't know what to do. So we just went to the doctors to see what we had to do. So obviously I went to the doctors, like I said in the other video, about my story. And after that, yeah, she kind of just helped me with my choices, looked through the booklets with me. But my mum's she understands people that get abortions, but she personally couldn't do it herself, and I think I'm a lot like her in that aspect, because I personally could not have done that at all. I just knew it, and there's not a chance that I could have got rid of my baby. So then through the whole time she said she's not going to say anything to sway my choice, whether she wanted me to keep it or whether she wanted me to get rid of it, kind of. That sounds horrible, but that's how it is. And she said she couldn't decide for me, she's not choosing, and yeah. But then obviously in the end I chose to keep my baby. After obviously me telling her, saying, yeah, I'm definitely keeping this baby, there's not a chance I could get rid of it. I keep saying get rid of it and it sounds horrible, but it basically is what it is. She said she knew from the start that there was not a chance that I was going to get rid of it. She knew that I deep down couldn't, because she knows me very well. She just said she knew it from the start, but she didn't want to say anything just in case, you know. So then it was around Christmas time, and my nana, granddad and my cousin come around every Christmas, and we always like have our Christmas dinner, drink, things like that. And I knew that my nana clocks onto anything. She literally, the slightest little thing, like slightest little thing in your mood, she'll clock onto it and just be like, what's that? What's wrong? So I asked her to tell my nana. I don't know why, but I was kind of embarrassed to tell anybody. I just felt people would judge me, and I was kind of ashamed actually at the start, which is bad to say, but I was. But I did know deep down my nana wouldn't judge me. I thought she would be quite happy, to be honest. I thought she was always going to be supportive, like my mum, because they're very similar. Us three are kind of really similar, so yeah. So I told my mum to tell her, and she told her basically that I didn't know she was telling her. So she said to my nana that, because I didn't want my nana mentioning it to me on Christmas, because the only person I had told at that time was my mum and one of my friends, well, two of my friends. So I didn't want anybody asking questions, so I asked mum to tell her that I didn't know she knew, so she wouldn't mention it to me, kind of thing, if that even makes sense. So that she wouldn't ask me why I wasn't drinking, or why I was feeling a bit ill, because I was starting to feel really sick, especially with morning sickness. Oh my god, so glad I'm over that now. So then after a while, when it was around 8 weeks, we kind of mentioned that, I sort of mentioned it to her and we started talking about it, and it was all fine. She came and babysat my sisters and brother while I went for a scan, because I went for 3 scans. So the first scan, my siblings were away with my dad. The second time, she came down and looked after them, and the third time she looked after them again. So yeah, she's been a great help, and she loves babies. She's honestly been the best help. She's bought so much stuff for the baby, and I think she's quite happy about it, really. So with my dad, I always thought this was going to be the hardest thing for me to do. Telling my dad was a big thing for me, because at the time, me and my dad, it was January when I told him, and I hadn't spoke to him since October because family upsets and divorce and things like that. So we hadn't spoke since October, and January came and I had to tell him. I don't know whether I regret not telling him at first when I told my mum when it first happened, but then I don't know. Obviously, things happen for a reason. So I told my dad the morning before my 12-week scan, because he messaged me saying he wanted to try and get our relationship back on track and things like that. So I told him, I said, like, you always said you would never. Don't know why it gets me upset. I said, you always said that you never would give up on me, no matter like what happened, like bad thing happened. I don't know. So I rang and told him, and I think he was disappointed at first. I could tell, but then he said obviously he was going to help me and support me. Pull yourself together. So then he said he would help me and support me, and he obviously wouldn't give up on me, but he said it's not what he wanted for me, and he wished that I told him sooner. So after I told my dad, it felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and it took him ages to come around to the idea of it. So for him not to be a bit, I don't know, held back with it all. He didn't really ask many questions. well, he did obviously when I told him, but after that we didn't really speak about it. He said he would pay for my driving lessons, and because I already had a car for my 17th, oh god, for my 17th, it was just driving lessons that was a problem, so he paid for my driving lessons, then I paid for my driving test, which I was supposed to do in April. Got cancelled, didn't it? So now I'm a bit too far on in my pregnancy to like turn and do all the manoeuvres and stuff. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that before having the baby or after having the baby, but that's in my mind. But anyway, he did that for me, which I'm so thankful for. And then now he's really come around to the idea, and we talk about it more, and he said he's proud of the way I've handled it. And that he obviously knows it was hard through going through a breakup as well as being pregnant. So he's actually been really, really supportive now, which I'm so thankful for. So on that same day, I went for my 12-week scan, and then I came home, and my nan was there, so I showed her the scan obviously, and my little brother came down, and we were planning on telling them that night anyways, like my siblings, but he walked in on it. So I showed him, and he said, that's fake, that's not real. I said, well, no, it is real. He said, no, it's not. I said, ask mum. So I went and asked mum, and he was like, oh my god. I said, oh my god, there's a baby. So then he ran upstairs and said, Lissy, Anya, Becca's got something to tell you. They're my sisters. So he went to Anya first and said, Anya, Becca's got something to tell you, and then was looking for Lissy. Then they came down, and so they were all sat there, and they were kind of shocked but happy. They were really, really happy. I didn't expect them to react like that, but it was really nice because we'd been going through a lot anyway, through my parents splitting up, and it was just quite a hard time. So then I think this kind of brought happiness onto everybody, so everyone had something to look forward to. I think it definitely happened for a reason, because my mental health was going downhill and I was really bad and everything was just not good, and then this kind of uplifted everyone, but it was just kind of brought us all together, and it was really, really nice. So then also at 12 weeks, my mum messaged most of the family, apart from I messaged a couple that kind of closer, and she messaged a lot of hers, just basically saying the news before I posted it on Facebook. So I messaged them, they were all really, really lovely, and then posted it on Facebook, and everybody saw, and I got so many messages, and I really thank everybody for the lovely messages. It was so nice. And yeah, I think that's really it for people that had to tell. I obviously had some people being judgmental. You can't really do much about it. Obviously people are going to judge you, but I'm so happy that this happened in my life, and I'm really excited and looking forward to it. I've only got just over 7 weeks left. Mad. One of the really big reasons I made this video is because if you are scared to tell your parents or want to know how to do it or how people react, obviously everybody reacts in different ways, everybody's got different situations, but I think the best thing to do is just tell them. Get it out there, tell them, don't make it a big deal, just come out with it and see how they react. The more you think about telling them, the more you're going to get yourself worked up. So the best thing to do is just come out with it, and they'll choose how they react. You can't help how they react, so whatever happens. You just got to do the right thing for you. Don't get pressured into anything. That's the biggest thing I learned, because some people's opinions weren't exactly the nicest, and you just do not get pressured into doing anything you do not want to do. That's the biggest thing I think I have to say from this. So for my other videos, I'm wanting to do more on what I've bought for him, but I don't know how to do it, so I think maybe I'm going to do kind of a collective haul showing from different shops. So I'm going to do kind of Matalan and Next and Primark, the things I've got from there, and then in another video do stuff from like Asda, Morrison's, Tesco's, because I have got a lot of stuff. I showed some in the past, the other videos, but that's nothing compared to what I have got. so I don't know if that is going to be a good video, but I want to do it purely for myself as well, so I can look back and see. I think also I'm going to say how I found out the gender, how it came about, what happened. So thank you for watching. I hope that anybody who is looking to tell their parents that they're pregnant or anything like that it goes well. Please like and subscribe if you are new. I would really appreciate it. It's really nice like having everybody's support, especially when I'm getting messages on Instagram and people commenting like on my TikToks. It's so nice to see. So nice to hear that there's people in the same situation as me, and it's just nice to relate to them. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.